Hi everybody, it's Linda. I am back to do a quick flip through of these two little cutie journals that I just completed. They were really fun and a real piece of my heart to make. They are inspired by Mary Engelbreit. And so I'm going to take a look and I'll tell you a little bit about my my love for Mary Engelbreit as we're going through the flip through. So these are sold, so you will not find a link to the listing in the description box, but you will find a link to anything that I've used that I need to credit. And honestly, since these were Mary Engelbreit, there are no digitals. So what I actually used were just things out of my own stash, scrapbook papers and fabrics and trims and things that are completely legal and not copyrighted. Actual note cards and things that I purchased throughout the years. So anyway, let's take a look at them. They are cute. I used this adorable Mary Engelbreit fabric for the cover. I'm going to move this one completely out so we can just focus on this one. And I used this little crocheted piece with a couple of charms, these adorable glass cherries and a key. And I beaded the signature ties, the ends of the signature ties with the prettiest beads and charms, just with all the fun colors. That's one thing I have just always loved about Mary Engelbreit are her colors. Just happy and cute and cheerful and reminiscent of our childhood. Which, speaking of which, I found this fabric, excuse me, at an estate sale that totally spoke to me and my love for the 60s and the 70s. It's got these little flocked flowers. So I used strips of this wonderful vintage fabric for the ties. Okay, in this front pocket, I made a little library card and just put a little bit of a trim from some Mary Engelbreit product packaging and a winter spice herbal tea bag. And here, just a little bulb charm with a made with love. And this is a note card from a set of Mary Engelbreit note cards that I have, and it's one of my favorite drawings and sentiments. It says, "Ah, how good it feels, the hand of an old friend." And this journal was actually purchased by someone who is a new friend, but feels like an old friend. So this ended up being an appropriate, just a wonderful beginning for this journal. And in this front pocket, I just used some things out of my own stash. You Make Me Smile All Over My Face, which is one of my favorite rubber stamps that I have, in this image of these two adorable girls. And then I just used a Mary Engelbreit sticker on the bottom. But just a fun journaling card. This pocket is some embossed cardstock, embossed cherries. This is from a Mary Engelbreit scrapbook pad, as is this. And on this back side, I created this tuck, and I made these little flowers out of just my paper punch and some cardstock to look like these. And then I just put another embossed cherry tag in there, and I made my own little topper just to kind of dress it up a little bit. This is some banana fiber paper. This is a page of actual vintage Mary Engelbreit stationery. You've seen me use this in some of my other journals, I'm sure. This is just a little Rolodex card that I made to use as a little journal card. It's got some of the Mary Engelbreit fabric and a Mary Engelbreit sticker. And some notebook paper or notepad paper. This is another page of the Mary Engelbreit scrapbook paper. This I've had in my stash for a really long time, this scrapbook paper that are cherries. And I want to say it's like from the year 2000 or something. It's well over 20 years old. I've had it a long time. And then a Mary Engelbreit recipe card. This is a page from the Mary Engelbreit Home Companion magazine. I have all of the magazines, and I chose one that I could kind of use for pages and fodder for these journals. I certainly won't be cutting up many of them because they are dear to me, but I did use one for the pages in here. And a little doily. This is actually a digital, not Mary Engelbreit. This is an envelope that came with a Mary Engelbreit card, and I sewed it into the signature and created 2 pockets. This one has a fun Project Life card in it. This is some graph paper. And then this is the envelope to that piece of stationery. And it's a tuck on this side. And I created this fun little guest check from some scrapbook paper and a Mary Engelbreit little image that I cut off of one of the scrapbook papers. And it just tucks right in there. And then this is a flip out. It flips way out. So you can do lots of journaling here. This little fold out scrapbook paper. And then in this pocket is a piece of one of the 6x6 Mary Engelbreit paper pads that I used. You can use this for some journaling or to write a note. So this flips. And then in this, on the front part, I created a pocket here, and I just made a jumbo-sized index card little journaling folder. And this was also from one of the Mary Engelbreit papers. Too much of a good thing is wonderful. Okay. And then this is just a little notepad piece of paper, and I just put a little bit of yarn in there for fun. A little bit of packaging that I turned into a tab here. This is the center of the signature and those glorious beads that I used. A little tab made from that wonderful vintage fabric. This is the other side of the little piece of note paper, and I put some yarn through there. And then this is a multi-fold pocket, and I always like to include blank tags in my journal so that you have things of your own to create or to journal on, or both. And so instead of using the usual manila tags that I usually use, I decided to kind of Mary Engelbreit them up a little bit. And so I made some out of some complimentary color cardstock and put a couple of tickets there and some trim. And so just a little bit of fun there for you to have. This is the back side of the envelope that is sewn into the signature. And in this pocket, there's yet another Project Life card. And of course, you can put whatever you'd like into these pockets. Here is a little tab made from the fabric from the cover. And this is the back side of that Home Companion magazine page. And a little, excuse me, a little card. It's a little ephemera piece that I turned into, there's a little journaling card that I turned into a little ephemera piece with just some cute images that I thought had, kind of had the right vibe, the right colors. Just tuck that right into there. some of the back sides. This is some yarn that I put through these holes, and this yarn is some of my favorite knitting yarn. I actually knitted a sweater for myself from this yarn. It's a Noro. The brand of the yarn is called Noro, and it's a hand-dyed yarn. And it's some of my favorite. So I thought the color worked well, and it was special. Okay, some of the back sides, there's a matching flap or fold out here, tuck spot. You can glue this down if you'd like, but I just wanted to leave easy access for this big embossed cherry journal card. You can put lined paper on the back for journaling, or you can decorate this, use it as a card topper, greeting card topper, just however you'd like. Or just keep it in there and enjoy it. And then this is the last page, and I made this little belly band out of a piece of vintage linen and put a little cutout from the Mary Engelbreit fabric on there. That's what friends are for. And this is another piece of scrapbook paper that I've had in my stash for probably 20 years, and it's the last little bit I have. So I thought it was perfect for this journal with the cherries. And of course, the Mary Engelbreit 6x6 pad there. This is the back side, the very back page of the note card, and I tucked some wildflower seeds in there. And I wanted to leave this. It says, this illustration is by Mary Engelbreit, who thanks you from the bottom of her heart for buying this card. And it's just the back side of the note card, and I've always liked that sentiment on her products. So, and I just created this fun little pocket. And then this is a paper bag, of course, so you've got this really big back pocket here. So this is journal number 1. And I'm just going to go through journal number 2 quickly. As I said, these are sold, but I just wanted to go ahead and flip through them to give you ideas. So many of us are Mary Engelbreit fans and have collected lots of Mary Engelbreit things throughout the year. So making your own Mary Engelbreit journal would be a great way to put all of those things together. You can use them for little, the note cards and the greeting cards and things that you have collected. Okay, so again, the only real difference in this is some of the ephemera. So I'm just going to go through and just point out what's different, just to give you ideas. This is actually the same tag. I love that. You make me smile all over my face. This was my favorite page to create. That was fun making those flowers. Same little Rolodex card there. This is the page from the Home Companion, Mary Engelbreit magazine. I was so sad when they stopped putting out that magazine. It was my favorite. Okay. So I live in St. Louis. I've lived in St. Louis my entire life. And if you are a follower of Mary Engelbreit, or a fan, you might know that she too is from the St. Louis area. And our paths have crossed on several occasions. First of all, from the time she started her artwork and started selling her cards, I was a fan. I had no idea who she was or that she was from the same area. But her style just spoke to my heart in a way that if you're a fan, you just understand the colors, the sweetness, the nostalgia, just all of it, the innocence. And I ended up having a bit of a series of synchronicities. I also had 2 sons, and she had 2 sons. My sons are just a little younger than hers were. We lived not too far from each other. I had never met her. I spent some time, I'm a nurse, and I did spend a little time, though, working in a store, a little art store on some of my days off because I love to do art that she used to come into. So I actually did wait on her one time, but I didn't say anything. I'm sure she wasn't wanting, she just wanted to go in there and buy something. She wasn't looking for a long conversation or a fan moment. So that was the first time I met her. We lived in the city, and in the city of St. Louis, and our house was decorated every room. It looked like a Mary Engelbreit house. It looked like something out of one of her, from the outside of the house, it was a 2-story brick house, a cute little bungalow style. I had Mary Engelbreit in every room, all of the colors, just the most charming little house. And people would come in and say, oh my goodness, this looks like Mary Engelbreit could live here. So I always had that. It was in the 90s. And then I am an OB nurse, and I took care of somebody who was one of the main editors for her magazine, knew her very well. In fact, one of Mary's little paper doll characters was named after this lady's baby that I took care of. So I had that little connection. A man came to build a new garage for us, and as we were chatting with him as he was building our new garage, we found out he had built a new garage for Mary Engelbreit at her house. So this is a different little card there. And then, I mean, just those little synchronicities. And the most wonderful thing that happened is several years ago, Mary had a workshop here in St. Louis, an art workshop. And I had a dear friend. We had been friends, online friends, for 15 years, loved her like a sister, had never met her. Her name was Joyce. She's in heaven now, but Joyce loved Mary Engelbreit as well, of course. And Joyce sent me an email one day and said, oh my goodness, Linda, I signed up for a Mary Engelbreit workshop at her studio in St. Louis. I'm coming to St. Louis. Wouldn't it be great if we could meet? Well, my goodness, I didn't sign up in time because this workshop filled up the moment it was announced, but Joyce got in. And so Joyce sent Mary and the other ladies who were organizing the workshop a note and told them about our relationship, how we had been friends for 15 years, felt like sisters, but had never met. And so they lovingly took me into the workshop. So Joyce came to St. Louis, and we spent an amazing 4 days at Mary Engelbreit's studio, at her home, with some other ladies who are just so dear to me. And it wasn't but a year and a half later, that I lost this beautiful friend Joyce to cancer. But we had this wonderful weekend together. Oh, okay. I didn't plan to go into all of that, but Mary Engelbreit has a very special place in my heart, and she reminds me of good friends. So the friend that purchased these journals is someone online who I've never met, who's been one of my customers, and I consider a friend. So it was just absolutely fitting that these journals go to her. But I did want to at least do a flip through so that you could see them, and that maybe it might inspire your own desire to make a journal for a special friend, or if you're a Mary Engelbreit fan, just to put that into a piece of your own art, what her art has meant to you through the years, or just whatever. I just wanted to share it with you. So I've got some new projects coming up, and you'll be seeing some new journals. And please leave a like or a comment. I'd love to know if you have, if you're a Mary Engelbreit fan, and if you have any stories that you'd like to share. And subscribe to my channel and help me grow if that's something that interests you. And a special thank you to my dear friend and her sister, who hopefully will love these journals. So from the bottom of my heart to yours, I will see you later. Bye-bye.